Imagine if you could maintain a firm hold of your operations from anywhere, complete with the choice to find the perfect balance between work and freedom. As a leader, the significance of your role is unparalleled. That's why we make sure no matter where you are, your financial freedom is guaranteed. People's Bank Online Corporate Banking. Imagine business anywhere.
In a few moments, the news.
People's Bank Online Corporate Banking. Imagine business anywhere.
This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
The time is 6:15. Here is the news edited by Lakshman Fonseca, read by Victor Raj. Here are the headlines of the local news. Sapugaskan, oil refinery, will be reopened for operations tomorrow. The Lakvijay power plant in Noracholi, which remained inoperative, resumes operations. The budget proposal for 2023 will be presented in Parliament by the Prime Minister tomorrow. Applications called for the postgraduate diploma in bilingual education. A special police investigation launched against the Panadura South HQI and his team. In Watchlight, large troops of monkeys are causing havoc in populated cities. Overseas news, the Taliban bans women from entering amusement parks. Sports news, England beat Pakistan to win T20 World Cup. Local news in detail. Ministry of Power and Energy says the Sapugaskan oil refinery will be reopened for operations tomorrow. Operations of the refinery will be restart after unloading the crude oil anchored in the seas off Colombo. A senior officer said that necessary instructions have been given to secure a crude oil shipment. Energy Minister Kanchana Vijayasekara said that ESPO crude oil cargo commenced unloading last night after a new modality was agreed with supplier. First Petrol 95 cargo imported by Ceylon Petroleum Corporation since April commenced unloading yesterday. The minister added that no further price revision on November 15th as the prices were revised earlier this week. Unit 2 of the Lakvijay power plant in Noracholi, which remained inoperative, will resume operations tomorrow. The Ceylon Electricity Board says electricity generated by the plant will be added to the national grid after recommencing functions. On last June, Unit 2 of the Noracholi power plant was stopped its operation owing to the malfunction and some repair works. The CEB added the national grid will receive 300 megawatts of electricity after resumed its operations tomorrow. The budget proposal for 2023 will be presented in Parliament tomorrow by the Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe. The Minister of Finance, the government, says that it hopes to present the budget for this year with the aim of laying the basic foundation for stabilizing the country's economy. The State Minister of Finance, Jehan Singh, said that the budget will not include the traditional clauses which were included within previous appropriation bills. The State Minister said the public gallery is open for diplomats and VIPs only. Budget debate will be initiated on the 15th and will last for a week. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
People's Bank Online Corporate Banking. Imagine business anywhere.
Continuing with more local news, applications have been called for the postgraduate diploma in bilingual education for the next academic year. The Minister of Education said the course is jointly organized by the Ministry and the Open University. The Ministry added, the course is the only bilingual educational postgraduate qualification available in Sri Lanka and has been designed to suit the requirements of the Sri Lankan context. The Education Minister said it is scheduled to sponsor the total course fee for 40 applicants serving in the public school system. The Ministry of Education said the target groups to follow the course are teachers in government schools, pirivenas, semi-government and private schools, and lecturers at higher education institutions. A special police investigation has been launched against the Panadura South HQI and his team. Police spokesperson SSP Nihal Taldua said that they were caught in camera physically assaulting female protesters and female cops who were on duty yesterday. He said a special team headed by an ASP from the Panadura division had been appointed by the Western Province Senior DIG to probe into the harassment. He added, once the probe is completed, further action will be taken. That ends local news.
Imagine if you could maintain a firm hold of your operations from anywhere. People's Bank Online Corporate Banking. Imagine business anywhere.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Ministry of Power and Energy says the Sabugaskanda oil refinery will be reopened for operations tomorrow. Operations of the refinery will be restarted after unloading the crude oil anchored in the seas off Colombo. A senior officer said the necessary instructions have been given to secure a crude oil shipment. Energy Minister Kanchana Vijayasakara said the ESPO crude oil cargo commenced unloading last night after a new modality was agreed with suppliers. First Petrol 95 cargo imported by the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation since April commenced unloading yesterday. The minister added that no further price revision on November 15th, as the prices were revised earlier this week. That ends main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Watch Life is brought to you by
Tertiary and Vocational Education Commission. Large troops of monkeys, sometimes numbering over 100, are causing havoc in populated cities, are causing damages in many areas. The public complain monkeys are causing damage to crops, roofs, power cables, telephone lines and water lines. They added that the monkeys are even attacking people while stealing into homes to take food. They said the animals target heavily populated areas such as a marketplace, parks and public areas as the food items are readily available in those areas. That ends Watchlight.
Please be aware on institutes, registration and accreditation when you are selecting vocational courses which leads to achieve your future career goals. Do not waste your valuable time and money. Confirm institutes, registration and accreditation by TVEC. For more information, visit nearest district divisional secretariat offices and meet career guidance practitioners or skill development officers. Message from Tertiary and Vocational Education Commission.
World News, brought to you by courtesy of
We give you the strength to rise higher and higher.
Never step back, but always march forward.
Empowering you to reach greater heights. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
World News headlines first. Biden pledges further U.S. commitments to Southeast Asia. The Taliban bans women from entering amusement parks. The WHO reports the Ebola virus has now spread to capital Kampala. World News in detail. U.S. President Joe Biden told ASEAN leaders that the United States will continue to strengthen its commitment to the region. ASEAN has elevated the U.S. this year to comprehensive strategic partnership status. President Biden said that the U.S. would continue to strengthen their commitment to work in lockstep with an empowered, unified ASEAN. During the talks, Biden confirmed his administration's pledge to invest in the region. He said in the past year, his administration has announced over $250 million in new initiatives for ASEAN, and for next year he has requested $850 million in assistance. The Taliban have banned women from entering amusement parks in Kabul. The Ministry for the Propagation of Virtue said it monitors the activities of people in Afghanistan to make sure the people are following the group's interpretation of Islamic laws. The minister said that the ban took effect this month. The individual explained that women cannot enter amusement parks even if they are with their children or other family members. The ministry cited women were seen improperly wearing hijab scarves at amusement parks. It was reported the number of visitors to one amusement park in central Kabul has plunged recently, but the park was deserted on Saturday, and most of the rides were not working. Meanwhile, a female resident said she is not happy with the ban and added that she believes women to have the right to visit amusement parks. The World Health Organization reports the Ebola virus has now spread to 8 districts in Uganda, including the densely populated capital, Kampala. The latest WHO figures put the number of confirmed and suspected cases of Ebola in Uganda at 157, including 52 confirmed deaths and 21 probable deaths. The East African country is seeing an increase in the so-called southern strain of Ebola, which has no approved vaccines to prevent the virus from spreading. However, WHO reports 3 vaccine candidates have been identified that could be tested in randomized clinical trials in Uganda. No starting dates has been set yet. To wrap up the world news, let's take a look at the headlines once again. Biden pledges further U.S. commitment to Southeast Asia. The Taliban bans women from entering amusement parks. The WHO reports the Ebola virus has now spread to capital Kampala. That ends world news.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
Amidst all challenges, we will rally around you and advance.
In the face of hardships, let's stand strong together.
Empowering you to reach greater heights. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
On to the development news. A new program will be implemented for children who completed the GCE O-level examination to get vocational training from the school itself. Education Minister Susid Premjayantha says 526 schools island-wide would be eligible to carry out this training program, and 19 were selected from the Colombo district. The minister added the government has also decided to further extend the school lunch program under the policy of the eradicating poverty during the crisis situation prevailing in the country. The government expected to immediately implement programs aimed at addressing concerns raised about the nutrition of school children. That came to you on Development News.
The fastest way to earn the highest interest, an interest rate of 22% in 4 months. NSB, the safest place for your money.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The Bank of Ceylon is calling for application for eligible students for Nanjaya Scholarship Program. The Nanjaya Scholarship Program. This scholarship is provided for Students excelled in the GCE Advanced Level Examination in the year 2021. The bank is to award scholarships worth over 30 million rupees to 382 top achievers of A-level examination of the year 2021. BOC said any 18 plus or 18 plus smart account holders who succeeded in producing exceptional results in the mainstreams in 2021 GCE Advanced Level Examination are eligible to apply for the latest edition of Nanajaya Scholarship Program. The students who meet the above criteria are requested to download an application from the www.boc.lk. That ends Business News.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The fastest way to earn the highest interest, an interest rate of 22% in 4 months. NSB, the safest place for your money.
Moving on to sports news. England are T20 world champions for the second time after Ben Stokes steered them to a 6-wicket victory over Pakistan in the final at the MCG. The Durham all-rounder produced a typically assured 52 not out with some late blows from the Moeen Ali helping Josh Butler's side chase down their target of 138 from 20 overs with 6 balls to spare. Sam Curran was the hero with the ball as his spell of 3 for 12 from 4 overs helped restrict Pakistan to 137 for 8 in the first innings, leaving England a modest target to attack. Pakistan gave themselves a sniff with 3 wickets in the power plays, including both in form operations Alex Hales and Josh Butler, but Stokes kept his head to lead England to victory. Weather and threatened to disrupt the final, but the promised heavy rain largely stayed away to allow a full fixture to be played down under. Mohammad Rizwan dragged Curran onto his stumps for 15 as Pakistan laboured to 39 for 1 from their 6-over power play. Adil Rashid joined the party with his very first delivery as Stokes caught Mohammad Haris in the deep to leave Pakistan on the back foot. They threatened to cut loose the Shan Mashood took Liam Livingston's solitary over 16. But Rashid then picked up Baba Azam, caught and bowled to wrestle the initiative back to England in what was a rare wicket maiden. That ends sports news. Moving on to economic news, Coconut Growers predicts coconut production is set to come down by at least 20% this year. They say it will gradually go down further and drop by another 30% in 3 years as a result of inadequate fertilizer and the spread of a killer leaf disease. Emeritus Professor Deepal Mathew, Executive Committee member of the Coconut Growers Association, says the coconut industry is in a bad state today and that more problems for the sector might surface in the couple of years. Meanwhile, the Coconut Research Institute has estimated that at current fertilizer price, the cost of production will be around 65 to 70 rupees per nut. That ends economic news. Finally, moving on to the weather report. Showers or thundershowers will look at most places in the island in the evening. Heavy showers above 100 mm can be expected at some places in the western, Sabragamo, central, southern, Uva and eastern provinces. Showers will occur in the coastal areas of western and eastern provinces and in Mullaitivu, Gaul and Mathura districts during the morning too. The sea areas around the island will be slight to moderate. Temporarily strong gusty winds and very rough seas can be expected during the thunder showers. To wrap up the evening news on Radio Sri Lanka, let's take a look at the headlines once again. Sapagoskhanda oil refinery to be reopened for operations tomorrow. The Lakvijay power plant in Oracholi resumes operation. The budget proposals for 2023 will be presented in Parliament tomorrow. Applications called for the postgraduate diploma in bilingual education. A special police investigation launched against the Pandra South HQI and his team. Watchlight, large troops of monkeys are causing havoc in populated cities. Overseas, the Taliban bans women from entering amusement parks. Sports news, England beat Pakistan to win T20 World Cup. That ends the evening news broadcast on Radio Sri Lanka.